everyone, and welcome back to another moon update. We are having a new moon in the sign of Gemini today. And as always, we come together to receive these messages from the divine, from Source, with the intention that we can gain something here today that is going to help us on our path. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? As always, I'm interested, I'm curious, I'd love to know. We've been doing great over here on this side. Not a lot to say, not a lot to update. I just want to go ahead and dive straight into these messages. I've already cleansed and cleared the space, so I am ready to go. While I go ahead and shuffle the cards and take out the spread, you guys can feel free to take this time to center yourselves, to close your eyes and take deep breaths in and out, softening your energy, opening yourself up to receive whatever messages are here for you today. We are having this new moon in the sign of Gemini. We are in Gemini season, so happy birthday to all my Geminis. I have to say, I know Geminis, they get like a bad rep, but I love Geminis. Geminis are so funny, literally like the funniest people. They are so entertaining, so fun. I love conversing with Geminis. You guys are seriously the best. But yeah, this Gemini energy. So Gemini to me is all about, just being curious and being communicative, talking. It can be talking in any way, like in person, through text messages, however. And it's just it's a very light energy. I feel like it's an energy that's just so curious. It wants to know about people's experiences and how people feel about things and people's perspectives. It just wants to see all of the different sides to the story. I feel like it just wants to learn as much as it can, even if you're not trying to get your mind changed, even if you're very firm and you're very solid about where you stand on things. I feel like Gemini is that energy that they just want to know how other people look at it. I feel like they're very open-minded and they are interested, they are curious. So I love that quality. So I think for us, the way that this can translate for this new moon is during this period, I feel like maybe we're going to be encouraged to just kind of hear people out, to learn new things, to just get curious and just try to gather information. I don't know, I just feel like maybe we're going to be open to learning about new topics, to listening to new ideas, to perspectives, just to see how other people break things down, how other people synthesize things, and what you're able to take from these curious conversations that you're having, what you're able to take for you, what's the takeaway for you, what can you apply, what have you learned about the intricacies of how something works. And if something really piques your interest, this would be a really good time to just kind of run away with it, do your research to learn more about it, to learn about it more in depth. Because the Gemini energy, it isn't very deep. It's very touch and go, It's kind of you listen to something, you hear someone out, you think about it for a second, and then you move on to the next thing, I feel like it is a very light, carefree energy that just likes to talk, just likes to socialize, likes to just touch base. And it likes having all of these different perspectives. It's very open to all of the various aspects of things, Okay, let's see. Got a lot of cards here. I have to organize them. But let's see what Spirit wants to communicate to us today for this new moon cycle. Guess I can put them here like that so you can see. And we did get the Lovers, which is a Gemini card, so that's perfect. Okay, so let's take a look. So yeah, like I said, right now is a time for communication, to listen to new ideas, to feel like you're learning something new, to feel like your perspective is being elevated, like you're being enlightened, like something is being illuminated for you. Like maybe something that you hear someone talk about or someone say, it's like it's going to click something else into place for you. Like, oh, that makes sense with this other thing that I had been thinking about. I feel like it's going to help you understand something with a lot of clarity. I feel like you're going to be having a lot of conversations right now that they're just going to ring true. They're going to seem very important and like very enlightening. And like, I don't know, I feel like it's helping you to piece something together. Maybe something that, you had been thinking about that maybe you just didn't really fully grasp, or you couldn't really fully make sense, or there was still like holes in how you were looking at it. I feel like something is going to get filled, like some missing puzzle piece, and you're going to get like that aha moment. But I'm definitely seeing a lot of communication here, a lot of like good quality communication, where it's like bringing forth a lot of clarity for you. There is like a lack of love here I am seeing, especially with our oracle cards over there to the right, that Aphrodite eternal love card and Baba Yaga patience. I feel like there could have been a fallout, or maybe some of us are feeling like not connected, like disconnected to love at this time. Like maybe we're not really feeling super supported, nourished by anyone. Maybe we're not really feeling very connected to people right now, like on a deep level. Maybe you've been cutting a lot of people off, or you've been having arguments, or you've been, finding out that some people aren't as loyal as you thought that they were. Maybe you've been finding out some harsh truths, and this is making you very resistant or kind of like on guard when it comes to relationships and opening up. Like maybe you're just not really open right now to connect because you're kind of still sore from something that has happened, or maybe this is an energy that is going to be happening. And I feel like this is good communication. Like it's good for you to know kind of like people's true colors, and to know people's like true intentions and where they stand and their loyalty towards you, and all of those things. Like I think it was due. Like I think whatever kind of difficult truths or realities you're having to face right now, having to do with like relationships and the people around you, like it is for your highest good, even though it can suck, and it can feel like a disappointment to learn this news, to hear this news. Spirit is indicating like it's for the best. You knowing this information is like for your highest good. And it's not meant for you to feel like you can't trust people. And it's not meant for you to feel like you're the odd one out, or like, you have no one, or you're left out in the cold, like you don't have friends. Like it's not meant for you to kind of like bask in that disappointment, or for you to then like not trust people and have a problem where you can't let your guard down and you can't open up because you're just afraid, or you're just exhausted by getting betrayed. I do see like a lot of defeat here, a lot of defeat energy. But I think Spirit, like they're trying to say that this isn't meant for you to like shut people out and not trust people. This is meant to kind of like distance you from those people that were kind of like maybe a distraction. Like Spirit just wants you to really focus on your craft, on your work, whatever it is that you consider work, whatever it is that you produce that is valuable for you, something that you show up for every single day, that you're diligent about, that is going to take a lot of your energy and a lot of your focus and a lot of your attention, because like attention to detail is required. I feel like Spirit just wanted to like distance you from these people that weren't really like adding on to you. so that you can focus on your thing, like focus on building up whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is you're building up. And it looks to be tangible, material. So this could be like your actual job, whatever it is that you do for money, however it is that you earn an income. Spirit just wants you to focus on that. They want you to continue to be very solid, very stable. They want you to continue to show up, to take care of your duties, of your responsibilities, and to basically just focus on growing something. This could also be like that you're realizing that you cut people off too quickly or something, or like you're the one that, I don't know. Like Spirit does want you to work on something, and it looks like it has to do with your work, like yes, with your stability in the material world, but also I think they want you to be more open to like higher, there's something coming through here. I think they want you to be more open towards like the right kinds of relationships and the right kinds of conversations and the right kinds of people. Like maybe that's been hard for you to discern or something, and maybe you've aligned yourself with, you know, like lower energies or a lower path, and that's why you've had a difficult time potentially in relationships and why you have your guard up and like you feel like you can't connect to people. I think they just want you to get more discerning and more open to higher, you know, relationship experiences. Because I feel like you're going to find that in places that you didn't expect to find that in. So whenever you feel kind of like a sensitivity, like an openness, like a comfortability to, I don't know, be vulnerable and be very like young in your energy, like be very giddy and playful and open. Like when it feels like that, they're saying like that's a clue, that's an indication. Kind of like, you know how you feel when you see a kid, like a little kid, and they're just so cute and they're so adorable and they just like melt your heart. It's like that same feeling as if you were observing a child or talking to a child that you just thought was just adorable. It's kind of like that same warm kind of feeling. And I think that's like a good indication that this relationship is aligned to something greater, to something higher. Maybe you've always been like a little too closed off to allow yourself to be that vulnerable or to take something with this energy like seriously, like to take that as any type of indication of anything like important. But yeah, like Spirit is communicating something about that. Maybe you do have like a hard time being vulnerable or something. Yeah, maybe this comes from you, and it's because you have like a history, like a bad history with like relationships and people and stuff, and so you do have like a really high guard up, and you are very protective, but it's because you've been hurt. And maybe Spirit is telling you like it's time to work on this. You know, it's time to like really work on this because it's coming from your end. And I do feel like you are feeling left out in the cold, and you are feeling kind of like disconnected, and it has to do with you. Like Spirit is saying it has to do with how you show up, with your actions, like how you move. Maybe you're quick to cut people off, or maybe like, you know, before people hurt you, like you, I don't know, I don't want to say you hurt them, but like, I don't know, it's something like you don't want to get played or something, so you protect yourself, but in doing that, like you don't create really fertile grounds to connect to people, to truly have like a meaningful, genuine relationship, because you're trying to protect yourself. And I don't know, I feel like something about this is being highlighted here. Like you're getting some clear communication in regards to like how you show up in relationships and your part, how you influence things, because I think that you make it really difficult for people to like connect with you or something, or again, like the connection aspect is missing. And I feel it's because like there's a part of you that's really closed off and shut down, and you don't allow yourself to be like really open and vulnerable and trusting. There is something in you that like pushes that away in the way that you show up. And I think it's becoming apparent to you, whatever that is. And I think that's what Spirit wants you to work on. and they want you to focus on. And if you feel like relationships are being removed, I think this is the reason why. Because you could be finding out like that these people are corrupt or something, but it's kind of like the people that you connect with, it's like you might be noticing like it's not really a true, genuine connection, and it has something to do. It's like you guys are both vibrating like not on the best frequency. Like if you're noticing that the people around you are shady, and then you have to take a look in the mirror like, well, how did I contribute to that relationship? How did we align? You know, where were we aligning? What was the string that like tied us together? And really, I feel like something about that, like when you really take a look at that, it's going to be very enlightening for you. Because I do feel like you have shady people around you, but then I also feel like you could be shady yourself. And I don't mean that like, you know, I don't mean that to offend you. I'm just reading the cards. All the messages that we get here, they're for the highest and greatest good. Spirit always has our best interest at heart, and nobody's perfect. So I don't ever want you to feel like ashamed or anything. If there's something that's difficult for you to hear, like if it is resonating for you, because this does seem to be a specific kind of message. So if it is resonating for you, you know, no judgment. Like, it's okay. This is time for you to reflect, to look at something, to just accept it, because from there, we can move on from it. You know what I mean? Like you have to see it first. See what it is that you need to work on and what you need to heal before you can make those moves. So there is something that Spirit wants to highlight here. And I think it does like affect and it influences how you show up and how solid you are and how capable you are at like being a real one on the material front, like in the material world, like being very like reliable and solid and stable and like someone that is there, you know, that is going to show up, that is going to do what they have to do, like is going to follow through and handle their responsibilities, no matter how difficult it is, you know? Maybe you're realizing that your relationships have been kind of, I don't know, like lacking in some way, like lacking in depth or substance, or what brought you guys together wasn't anything that was like beneficial. Maybe you would be brought together with people like for more impulsive reasons rather than like meaningful, purposeful reasons. Like maybe you didn't really have really meaningful and purposeful relationships where it was genuine and pure and reciprocal and equal. And Spirit wants you to open up to that, open up to those possibilities. And it is going to take time. They're saying it's going to take time, but they're saying you're totally capable. Because I feel like maybe you feel like you're not capable, like you don't have the stuff. And they're saying, yes, you do. You absolutely do. You just have to like work on something so that it can be uncovered. But the potential is definitely there. And you are going to receive some kind of communication, some kind of wisdom that is going to help you piece this all together. Because I feel like for everybody, you know, whatever you're piecing together is going to be different, but the gist feels like it has to do with relationships, connections, communication, the kinds of communication. Like maybe you're very like superficial or like surface level when it comes to like talking with people, and you never like go too deep with anyone. Like no one really ever gets to know you, or you never really get to know anyone else. I don't know, something like there is something that isn't fully aligned to like high vibrational, true, pure connection and communication and relationship. And like there's just a certain kind of a depth that's missing here, is what I want to say. And Spirit is saying that you have to go to the foundation, like to the root of something. And that's like, you have to work on that part. Because most of these things, these blockages, they do come from like childhood, the way we've been socialized and conditioned, and, you know, personal experiences and stuff like that. So yeah, there is definitely something that you need to work on. That Spirit is saying it's going to take time, but they just want you to work on being like vulnerable and to opening up and to like not being afraid to show that part of yourself, because at some point like you are going to need to be comfortable with stepping into that kind of energy in order to like have true connection. And I think maybe that could be really difficult for you to do, but they want you to know that being vulnerable is like, it's a strength. It's one of the greatest strengths you can have, because it is scary, you know? It is like risky. It's like you're taking a risk, but it's about like being courageous and brave enough to do it. There's this Maya Angelou quote that I love, and she says, always believe in love one more time. Like always give it one more shot. So like regardless of any hardships that you've ever been through, it's like always give it one more chance. Don't be afraid to like just be vulnerable and open up, because it's going to lead to a true genuine relationship, open communication, something that's very pure, something that's higher. I'm hearing that Whitney Houston song, Higher Love. Yeah. But in order for you to align to something like this, you need to bring this blockage that you have internally, like you need to bring that back into alignment. You need to work on that part. But I feel like during this time, you are going to get the insight. Like you are going to be illuminated. Like I'm telling you, something is going to come to light. Something is going to click in. Something's going to like make sense for you. And I think it's going to shed light on exactly what it is that you need to do, like exactly what it is that you need to work on, what it is you need to focus on to like renew yourself and to bring truth, you know, and to be comfortable with being like your true authentic self and kind of like being very carefree in that energy and very trusting in that energy, to surrender to that, to your independence, to your authenticity, to your true happiness, you know, to your abundance. Yeah. I have to say, you guys, I did a reading. It's going to come out soon. I want to say like maybe in like the next 2 to 3 days. It's a pick a card reading. And the topic is on what karma are you here to clear? And all of those readings, you know, the 3 different selections that I have to choose from, like all of them, they had to do like with relationships. And I'm kind of seeing this theme here too with this reading. So maybe, you know, you want to watch that when it comes out. Maybe there's something useful or helpful that you can find in there. But I am just being reminded of those readings that I just did. They're almost ready. I already have the reading basically almost finalized. I just have to do a few little things and it'll be up very soon. So stay tuned for that. I think that's going to be, I don't know, very helpful and maybe like a continuation to this energy here, because this has to do with relationships and communication and like higher kinds of relationships and, you know, like elevated relationships that are kind of being influenced by the divine, you know, like I feel like the divine wants to align you to certain people, but there's like some blockage here. Definitely there's some obstacle. There is like an interference, and they want you just to have the information, to have the clarity around it so that you know what to do to work on it, you know? And I feel like you're going to get that information somehow, some way. It's going to come to you. Things are going to click into place and you're going to know exactly what to do, what to work on, what to focus on. And if there's something that isn't good for you, like maybe, you know, I feel like this could be playing out in so many different ways, because you could even be finding out like that something isn't good for you. I think we kind of opened with that. That was like the first message I got, and I'm getting it again. It's like you could find out that maybe like the people around you are just like not up to par. You know what I mean? Like maybe your standards are going to like raise, like elevate, and then that means that the people around you are no longer like meeting those standards. And you're going to start seeing the truth, like, oh, like I need to get away from this. This is actually unhealthy, or there's actually nothing that's nourishing here for anyone involved. You know, like you are going to see some kind of truth okay? You are going to make some kind of connection, definitely. And I feel like it is going to bring to the forefront something that you feel helpless towards, like something that you feel like you don't have the confidence in, or you don't know how to navigate that, or you just feel really insecure. You're not feeling in your power with whatever this has to do with. And so it's going to shine a light on what it is that you have to work on, because none of us are helpless. Like, whenever we feel like there's nothing we can do and our hands are tied behind our back and we're just not capable and we just don't have the stuff, like, that's all an illusion. That's all a lie, And it's being able to kind of like free yourself from that perspective, from those beliefs, and to rise up, to move beyond that blockage and prove to yourself that you can, because you absolutely can. So yeah, I feel like something about that, like, is going to be illuminated for you. And it has to do with love and relationships and communication. And, maybe you're going to be noticing like, oh, like I was accepting less than what I deserved, or like these lower vibrational kinds of relationships that really have no depth and have no purpose or meaning. And the driving force was maybe like lower vibrational or something. It just wasn't conducive to like true love, to cultivating true love. It wasn't conducive for that to grow, for that to cultivate. And for whatever reason, And yeah, you're just going to get the information about this, and you're going to know what you have to do. Okay? So this is beautiful, because we're aligning more with true love and with what that really is and what it means, and how to discern, like how to be discerning. And yeah, when you're in that space, it's like easier to align to something, like that Whitney Houston song, like that higher love. Anything else, Spirit? Did I cover everything here? Okay, guys, so that's what I'm getting. That's your message. I truly hope that this was beneficial, that this served you. I'd love to know how it resonated, either now or later when things start playing out. I'd love to know. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today and for being here. I look forward to reading for you guys again very soon. Take good care of yourselves. And until next time, bye.